Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a side of crypto you might not hear about as much. It's based on some interesting texts we found, talking about so-called underground DAOs.
Yeah, it's definitely a departure from that, utopian vision of DAOs just building cool stuff together.
Right. Forget the purely community-driven, super transparent projects for a moment.
Yeah.
This text suggests, well, something potentially shadier.
Exactly.
Our mission really is to get a handle on what these things are, how the text says they work, and what it all might mean for you out there in the crypto world.
Yeah, because the traditional DAO concept, it's usually focused on building something, right? Governing your project, making decisions openly. This text flips that. It introduces DAOs focused more on, well, control, less building, more influencing, maybe even manipulating markets that already exist.
Okay, control. So the author talks about these underground DAOs working kind of in secret, often on platforms like Discord, apparently.
That's what the source says, yeah. Using governance tokens not really for a consensus on a project's direction, but more as like tools for market maneuvering.
So quite different from the open forums and public voting we might associate with, say, mainstream DAOs.
Absolutely. You've got encrypted chats, potentially, anonymous wallets coordinating. Well, according to the text, significant amounts of crypto.
How significant are we talking?
Millions, possibly even hundreds of millions of dollars. The text frames them almost like digital cartels.
Wow. Digital cartels.
Yeah, engaging in things like, coordinated pump and dump, sniping newly listed coins, maybe trying to crash rival tokens.
And this is all automated.
A lot of it, yes. The actions are coded, they're voted on internally, and then executed via smart contracts. So it's very efficient, very organized.
And no traditional oversight, right? No SEC knocking, no boardrooms.
Pretty much. Just the code, the anonymous wallets, the encrypted communication channels, that's the picture painted.
It's interesting, too, the barrier to entry. The text mentions some are invite only, and it might cost, what, like $100,000 in Ethereum just to get in?
Yeah, figures like that are mentioned. It screams exclusivity, doesn't it?
It does. What does that buy you, essentially? Access.
Access to the coordination, seems like. Access to the group's pooled capital and the strategies they're using to, well, try and move markets for their collective benefit. It definitely raises questions about fairness.
For sure. And the author gets into the legality question. I mean, technically, just pooling money isn't illegal per se.
Right. Collective investment happens all the time.
But it's the coordination, the secrecy, and the explicit goal of manipulating markets. That's where it gets murky, ethically speaking. The text uses the term digital racketeering.
Precisely. It's that intent combined with the scale and the organized, anonymous nature that pushes it into a gray area or maybe even beyond. It's a tricky line.
And apparently they even offer services. Like you can pay these DAOs to pump an NFT project or spread FUD that's fear, uncertainty, and doubt about competitors.
That's what the source suggests, yeah. Almost like a modern, decentralized mafia offering market manipulation as a service.
It's a pretty stark image.
It is. And it highlights a potential dark side to the freedom crypto offers. That same lack of central control that enables innovation might also enable this kind of organized manipulation that can really hit individual investors' portfolios.
But boiling it down, the main takeaway here is that alongside the idealized vision of DAOs, this text suggests there's this other, less visible layer. These underground DAOs focused on control, on market plays, not necessarily on building.
Exactly. It's a potential disruption, a kind of hidden element within the crypto world that operates very differently from the public narrative. It shows a vulnerability, perhaps.
Which leads us to the final thought for you, the listener. If these activities are, as the text suggests, often technically legal, but potentially harmful, what does that mean going forward? What are the implications for regulation for the health of the crypto ecosystem? Is this just an inevitable shadow side of decentralization?
Or are there ways to counter it? Things like better on-chain analytics, maybe community watchdogs?
Definitely something to chew on as you navigate this space. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.